the right ventricle of the heart. So right ventricle of the heart, if you have taken, the right ventricle of the heart, it is the one which will be starting from the outflowing orifice of the right atrium to the apex of heart. Now this right ventricle, it is almost all triangular, in the water that the transverse section of the water that the entire heart as such. Now this right ventricle, which is extending from the right atrium to the apex of the heart, it is going to form the inferior border of the heart, and 1/2 of the ventricular portion of sternocostal surface of the heart, or anterosuperior surface of the heart in general. This right ventricle, even it forms very smallest of the minute part of apex of the heart, which is there after completion of formation of the entire apex of the heart, which will be there right to the that of the apex of the heart, that is the ending portion. Then very small portion of the diaphragmatic surface, of the heart. So this is what that all it forms. That is the right ventricle. Now this right ventricle, it is directing forwards, little upwards, towards the left, and then downwards and backwards. This is what the entire direction of that of the right ventricle. Now this right ventricle, now it is anteriorly what? The right ventricle. So anterior thoracic wall. So this is the right ventricle. Anteriorly related to anterior thoracic wall. Especially of left part. Then second two, sixth left costal cartilage. Then second to sixth or seventh anterior ends of the ribs. Then anterior, I mean to say anterior intercostal arteries of left, anterior intercostal veins, anterior intercostal vein of left, internal thoracic artery, left internal thoracic vein, corresponding lymph vessels, intercostal group of lymph vessels, then intercostal space which contains external intercostal muscle, internal intercostal muscles, innermost intercostal muscles. So those are all, it will be related. Apart from that, it is related to the pericardium, that one which is separating from the anterior border of left lung and mediastinal pleura, that which covers the anterior border of left lung, known as posteromediastinal races, and mediastinal surface of left lung. So these all things are there in front to the what? Anterior surface or right ventricle anteriorly related, or that is also said to be as anterior surface is directing anterosuperiorly. Now this thing related to this all things in front. Now the what that of the, you can say, right ventricle inferiorly means below. It is related to the left dome of the diaphragm. So this is the thing here, left dome of diaphragm, that which is separating from fundus part of stomach, diaphragmatic surface of spleen. So these things are related to what? Inferiorly the right ventricle. This is. So this one is the thing. Now posteriorly, rather it is said to be as a behind and below. Behind and below. Posteriorly and below. Or posto-inferior. Posterior. Inferior. Related to interventricular septum. Interventricular septum. This is what the interventricular septum. That which is separating from the left ventricle. Left ventricle. So this is what the thing. So you will be having a what? Three things, that boundaries you have to talk for the right ventricle. One is anteriorly, that is also called as anterosuperiorly. It is anteriorly related to all these. Then below, that is, then you will be having a what? Posteriorly and little below, or you can say it posteriorly below and little towards left, So posteriorly below, little towards left, related to left, related to interventricular septum, that which separates from the water that of the left ventricle of the heart. So this is what the relation of the right ventricle. Now you have to go to the what? Internal. Internal of right ventricle. Now internal of the right ventricle, you have got the two. One is inflowing orifice. Another is the outflowing orifice. Now inflowing orifice of the right ventricle, when you will be studying the cut section. But before going for the what internal, one should know that how that heart, especially the right ventricle, it looks, it is almost all a cavity which will be projecting and get separating from the water left by means of the interventricular septum. So the right will be almost all appearing like a water, triangular in its transverse section, while the left it is conical, or rather circular, as because the what interventricular septum is thrown right convexity. Now we have to go with having that all the thing in the mind, we have to go to the what internal, especially the inflowing orifice. Inflowing orifice of the right ventricle exhibits a what known as tricuspid orifice. Now this tricuspid orifice, the rim of the tricuspid orifice is completely lined by the water that of the fibrous structure, rim circumference. Now this orifice admits you can say 3 or 2 or sometimes 4 finger pulps. So this the water that of the where you can say right tricuspid orifice or tricuspid orifice or right atrioventricular orifice, which will be there. It will be exhibiting a 3 cusps. One is anterior cusp, another is the posterior cusp, and the water that of the medial cusp, or it is also called as the septal cusp. Now these cusps, because of their arrangement, the name has been given. Now this you can say tricuspid orifice or right atrioventricular orifice, which has got cusps. It will be having in its TS. This is what the half of the water that of the medial cusp. This is what the posterior cusp. This is what the anterior cusp. And this is the remaining half of the water medial cusp. So these cusps are the water, these are the just you can say cup shaped structures which are totally water, fibrous and partially the membranous, fibromembranous it is. It is attached to the entire circumference of atrioventricular orifice of right and the tricuspid orifice. But it has got the two surface, these cusps. This is what the atrial surface. This is what the ventricular surface. Rather it is called as the superior surface. It is called as the inferior surface. For half of the medial another side, posterior and the anterior. So you can make it this as anterior, this as a posterior, no problem. So these cusps, they will be going to change its shapes. Depends upon the pressure ingredients in the water, atrial and the ventricular portion. When the atrial diastole is there, atrial surface is concave. At the same time, ventricular contraction will be there. So this is the atrial diastole. So the blood will be there. So this will be the concave. At the same time, this will be there where you will be going to get the water. Your blood into the water. This will be going here. So there you will be going to get the water. Your ventricular surface, which is there here, it is totally convex. Now the convexity and the concavity, it depends upon the water pressure ingredient in the chambers of the heart. When there will be the atrial diastole, at that moment there will be a water ventricular systole, means a contraction. So you will be having like this type of a setup. This is totally depends upon the entire cardiac reflex from the cardiac fluxes. Rather it is a conducting system. So now with this, the atrial surface of the cusps, all three, medial, anterior, posterior, they are smooth, shiny. While ventricular surface of the cusps, they show for the medial cusp and that medial cusp where it adjoins with the what anterior cusps and the ventricular surface of the anterior cusps, where that you can say anterior cusps unite to the posterior cusps and the what ventricular surface of the posterior cusps, and as well as where that posterior cusps unite to the what remaining half of the what that of the medial cusps and the ventricular surface of the remaining half of the medial cusps. They show non-elastic white, non-elastic, elastic, whitish, thread-like structures called as chordae tendinous. Now these chordae tendinous, now those chordae tendinous are there here. These chordae tendinous, they are more in the water that of the right ventricle, because there are the more cusps, 3 cusps are there. Now these chordae tendinous will be going to attach to the water that of the trabeculae. This is the trabeculae carne. Now via by means of producing the water that of the papillary muscles. Now these papillary muscles are nothing but they are the contains inside the muscles of the plane of specialized. Now these papillary muscles, they are present or they are bridging between chordae tendinous and the trabeculae carne. Papillary muscles are also more in the water that of the right ventricle because chordae tendinous are more. Why that chordae tendinous are more? Because there are the 3 cusps. That is the main anatomical reasoning or consideration. Now coming to the water trabeculae carne. What is the trabeculae carne? Trabeculae carne is nothing but it is the irregularly scattered meshwork of the muscles. That is the ventricular muscles. Entire throughout the right ventricle. For this, the papillary muscles comes and merge. Now, the water that is the trabeculae carne, they are bit less compared to the trabeculae carne scattering. Trabeculae carne scattering, making that due to the scattering more dense in the left ventricle. So trabeculae carne are becoming very much lesser density. So thereby the wall of right ventricle is 1 time thicker than the water 3 time thickening of the water that of the wall of left ventricle. So this is the thing. Now you may be asking the question, why that thick trabeculae carneas are there on the water densely in the entire wall of left ventricle? Because the blood has to pump the larger surface area which will be going at the time of ventricular systole via the aorta to the larger extent to the space where the structures are placed far away. So because of that, it might be the another thing why that trabeculae carneas are densely arranged in the left ventricle than in the right. So this is what. So trabeculae carneae in the right ventricle, they are very less densely packed. Thereby the wall of that of the right ventricle is 1 time than the water thickening of the 3 times the wall of the left ventricle because of the dense arrangement of the trabeculae carneae in the left ventricle. So this is what. Now you will be going to get slowly the ventricular contraction begins. Ventricular contraction begins. Then whatever the blood has been reached to the water that of the right ventricle via the water contraction of the water that of the, you can say, atrial contraction, ventricular diastole. The blood is deoxygenated blood will be rushing into the. So at the time of the water atrial contraction, the water that of the, where you can say, blood will be going into the right ventricle. So at that moment atrial surface of the water, all these 3 cusps are concave and the water ventricular surface of these, they are all convex because of the water pressure ingredient. Pressure ingredient is more at the time of atrial contraction. Then the blood will be going to move into the water right ventricle. This is carbon dioxide content. Now there will be another phase sets in. Ventricular contraction begins, atrial diastole starts. At that moment, whatever the blood which has been stored in the water, right ventricle, which is carbon dioxide, so it is ready to fountain out through the water pulmonary trunk. Pulmonary trunk is a outflowing orifice of the right ventricle. Outflowing orifice of the right ventricle. So this is what the blood is ready to fountain out. So outflowing orifice of the right ventricle is the what? Pulmonary orifice. This pulmonary orifice here, you have got the what? 3 cusps. 3 cusps. The diameter of this is 3 centimeters. You have got 3 cusps in it, arranged 2 anteriorly and 1 posteriorly. Anteriorly you have got the right anteriorly and the left anteriorly and 1 posteriorly. So these cusps, they will be going to have the water. When the blood will be going out through this pulmonary trunk, it will be the water concave ventricular surface, convex the water that of the, you can say, pulmonary surface, because they will be going to the lung side. Okay, so like this. This is always depending upon the pressure ingredient. So this is what one should know about. So this is the thing what you have to understand. So after knowing the internal of the water, that of the right ventricle, so in the internal of the right ventricle, what one must know, inflowing orifice of the water, right ventricle is the water tricuspid orifice or right atrioventricular orifice, which has got the three cups. This is a medial, this is the medial half, this is the anterior, this is the posterior, concave and the convex. Concave it will be there when there will be a atrial contraction. Then at the same time, convex ventricular surface for the cusps are there. Then you have to have what? Those chordae tendinase you have to know, internal. Papillary muscles you should know. Trabeculae carneae you should know. When the trabeculae carneae gives the thickening of the wall of ventricle, compare that thing with the left. Then when you will be telling the inflowing orifice, you have to tell that 3 to 4 finger can admit pulp in that. Then you have to have the outflowing orifice of that right ventricle, where the diameter is 3 centimeter. It has got the two cusps, anterior 2, right and left, posterior 1. They will be also having a ventricular surface and the what? Pulmonary surface. Ventricular surfaces are concave when there is the ventricular contractions. Pulmonary surface at the same moment it is convex. So this is all is depending upon that surface. Shape is depends upon the pressure ingredient in the chambers of the heart. So this is what the internal. Now after knowing the internal, you should know the blood supply. Blood supply for the right ventricle. Blood supply for the right ventricle. Blood supply. It is by the what? Anterior. Anterior interventricular artery. Posterior interventricular artery. Apart from that, there will be these you can say two are the branches of that of the you can say right and the left coronary arteries. Coronary artery. So anterior interventricular artery, posterior interventricular artery, they are the branches of that of the you can say right and the left coronary artery, which are the direct branch from the water ascending aorta. Ascending aorta. So this is the blood supply by the ventricular arteries. Ventricular arteries. Now what is the venous drainage? Venous drainage of the what? That of the you can say right ventricle is the what? Ventricular veins. Ventricular veins. From the ventricular veins, the inner aspect of that of the entire superficial and deep veins are collecting, and it will be going into the water that of the coronary sinus. Coronary sinus, it will be going to pour the deoxygenated blood from entire heart into the right atrium. Lymphatic drainage. Lymphatic drainage of the water that of the heart is by the water superficial and deep cardiac group of lymph nodes, and that will be going into the water thoracic duct. Thoracic duct, and from the thoracic duct where it opens into the union of internal jugular vein and the subclavian vein to give rise to the what? Brachiocephalic vein of left. On the right side, that is the right lymphatic duct which opens into the internal jugular vein and the what? Left subclavian vein gives the right brachiocephalic vein. Together forms a superior vena cava. It also comes into the ear. Right chamber of the heart, limb. birds of the same feather flocks together. Lymph is also unwanted, carbon dioxide, blood is also unwanted, all together there. So this is what the lymphatic drainage. Now supply for the water that of the, you can say, ventricle right. It is by the water that of the superficial and deep cardiac fluxes and the water AV node. AV nodes. Now these AV nodes are there all along with the water that of the, where you can say, the entire circumference of that of the tricuspid orifice as well as the water that of the interventricular septum. So there will be a water reverse thing will be there, SN node and AV nodes. At the time of the water ventricular contraction, atrial diastole is there, and at the time of the water that of the atrial contractions, ventricular diastole will be there, and the reverse is true when ventricular contraction, atrial diastole will be there. So this is because of the water reverse mechanism or the opposite mechanism of the water that of the cardiac fluxes, sympathetic and the parasympathetic, and as well as the water hand in hand with the AV node and the SN nodes, which will be supplying to the water muscles of the heart, ventricular and the atrial muscles. So this will be going to come into the picture. Now you have to go to the histology definitely. Histology of the water that of the, you can say, ventricle right. Like a day earlier, yesterday, you have to deal the histology of the water that of the right atrium, but that will be dealt together separately just to have a what completion in the line and length. The histology of the water that of the right ventricle shows majorly a water that of the bundle of his in the water that of the papillary muscles. Papillary muscles are said to be the pacemakers. So that will be the thing where you will be going to get into the part. And in the papillary muscles, if you are seeing, and also in the water that of the trabecular carnes, the plain muscles of the water that of the, you can say, heart, they will be arranged just like a ladder. That is why they are called as the water specialized cardiac muscles, which are totally different from the water other plain muscles which are found in the organ. So that will be the thing. It will be there like this way in the heart. Like this way they are appearing. This is the histological part, what we say and learnt in the what previous science subjects. So this will be the, that is what the classification of the water muscles considering the histological part. So those are the striated muscles, non-striated muscles and the specialized muscle, cardiac. So this is what atrial and even the ventricle. After having had this, now you have to go to the embryology. Embryology of the water that of the, you can say, right ventricle. It is by the water that of the pericardio-pleural cavity, which is present in between the two lateral plate of the mesoderm from the cardiogenic origin. Cardiogenic origin. After having formed the U-tube and then it is rotated, giving rise to what? 4 chambers by the 2 limbs of the U. The right limb of the U goes into the water behind and left, while the left will be going to rotate front and up, gives rise to the water venous collecting chambers, that is the right atrium and the right ventricle. So by this, via having a what? Septum primum and the septum secundum. So this is what the development of the water that of the heart. So now you have got the applied anatomy. Applied anatomy of the water, that of the heart. So in this you can say right ventricle may go into the what, increasing in its size. That is called as the what, left ventricular hypertrophy. Left. The same way you may be going to get the what, right ventricular hypertrophy, increasing the what, the size and the entire things of the right ventricle. It becomes more in size, more bulky. So that is called the hypertrophy of the right ventricle. Hypertrophy of the right ventricle. So that is, left is also there. When you will be going to deal about the left will be going to come into the view. So this is the thing that what you should know. Sometimes there will be a what, less of blood to the right ventricle. Less of blood to the right ventricle. That is called as ventricular insufficiency, cardiac insufficiency. That is the part you will be getting. There you will be going to get the venous congestions. Venous congestion, especially when there will be a left ventricular, right ventricular hypertrophy is there. Right ventricular hypertrophy, when it is there will be a venous stagnation. So this is what you will be having. And arterial blood, if it is less, that is a what, right ventricular insufficiency. So like that it will be the things. Other things will deal. Then you will be having this intraventricular septum. Developmentally, this, which is developed from the septum primum and the septum secundum, from the water, right and the left arm of the water tube, from the cardiogenic origin of the pericardiopulmonary cavity, which is present in between the two lateral plates of the mesoderm. So there, if any defect is there, that is also one of the thing where you will be going to come under interventricular septal defect, which is one of the part of that of the Fowler's tetralogy. It is a developmental defect. So with this, the right ventricle is finished. Thank you.